Hi folks, we come back up to the Cefn Ddu Forestry to get a recording of dusk and dawn for May. If you remember, the other aim of recording up here is to capture a nightjar, and that brings me to something I brought up in my last video, local knowledge. So here's a shout out to Fraser. Thanks for the info in the quarry hole about the chuffs and the falcons, which are actually kestrels according to the Merlin app. As April is migration season, I was hoping to hear nightjars during April, but I haven't heard them. Which brings us to another example of local knowledge, and a shout out to Jones the Stone, who's a subscriber on the channel. Jones the Stone went recording up at Coedibrennan, which is a well-known nightjar site, and from his experience he hasn't heard any nightjars over there yet. As the nightjar flies, that's about 20 miles from here. So this is a good example of how local knowledge works, and also shows that sharing information can be beneficial for a lot of people who are recording, especially if they're out after birds. They don't know whether something's turned up or not. And that's also another good point of making these recordings, because they are a record of what happened during that year, over those months, etc., etc. Now, the other big themes about our drop rig recording of birds has been the wind speed and security. I wasn't actually going to record yesterday at all, because it was supposed to have been raining and windy. That was the forecast the night before, but by midday yesterday the forecast had changed. Remember, the UK, the weather is changing all the time, and the new forecast said it would clear up and the wind would drop to 6 miles an hour, and that turned out to be absolutely right. You can probably pick up cuckoos and woodpeckers through this microphone right now. Wow, that cuckoo is really going for it, and it has been for the last few weeks. It's absolutely fantastic to hear you. Right, let's get back to the weather. So the wind dropped. I was down by the lake last night. It was still as a mill pond. It was really clear, which means our dusk recording should be good. And the wind speed, I think, was low at dawn, but dawn's quite early now and I wasn't up, so I can't say until I listen to the recording. So let's go to the drop rig, and that brings us into our other theme, is drop rig security. Let's walk in and we'll see how long it takes us to see the drop rig in the location where I left it. Okay, let's go. Can you hear the cuckoo and the woodpeckers? It's mad. It's brilliant. Okay, so we're here. Can you see the drop rig? I've got a glimpse of it, but can you see it? Notice all these stumps here, these tree stumps. Normally we put the drop rig in those trees just over there. But today I've put them out here in the open ground where the newly planted trees are. Here's the old stumps and fallen branches. I've done a bit of research, and apparently this is the absolute favourite environment of the nightjar. So there's no surprise that I recorded them here last year, but I did check the recordings and they were done in July. So that's another 2 months from now. And as it's really cold at the moment, and the insects are only just starting to come out. Remember, nightjars prefer moths. And because of Jones of Stone's information that they haven't turned up in Brennan yet, which means that maybe they haven't turned up yet, or they are late visitors. Remember, the recordings were done in July. Low food source, just maybe they haven't turned up yet. Now let's keep going to walk in to our drop rig to see when you can see it. It's reasonably camouflaged. When you get close to it, you can see it. And the things you can see are the wind protectors. Bloody planes flying overhead, pain in the butt. Here we are, guys, there and there. I'll come back a bit. The drop rig bag up over the other side, down in the grass. So you can't see that itself. This is what you see. If you have a look at the colour of the lichen, it's not that far off, and from a distance it's going to be pretty difficult to see. You'd have to walk right onto it. Now let's see if it's still switched on. Yep, power bank's still on, recorder's still on. In the background we can hear that plane, but you can also hear the cuckoo. I'm hoping in this recording we've caught the cuckoo making what sounds like a Kookaburra noise. I've heard it a few times. I was quite intrigued to know what it was, so I did a little bit of research on that. Apparently that sound is what the male makes when it's attracting a mate. It's the first time I'd ever heard that, but let's see whether we've got that on the recording, and let's see whether the nightjars have turned up. If they're in there, I will leave them as snippets at the end of here. If not, I will leave something else that's of interest. I'll do the usual and put the hour before and after dusk and dawn in their playlists. And I'll see you in the next video, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.